Yo, what is up, sexy beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today I'm showing you guys my top 5 favorite maps in Call of Duty Zombies history, so let's go ahead and get this shit started. So I told you guys in my previous video of this that whenever it gets updated, I'm gonna make a new video, and it just recently got updated. So coming in number 5 is gonna be Origins. Origins is by far one of my favorite maps. I really do love it. I love the setting, the layout of it, and I just love the overall feel of the map. Now there are some downsides to this map. One, the mud. I think the mud was a terrible idea and is really annoying. Yes, you have the tank to kind of make up for that, but sometimes you kind of have to go through the mud, and that's pretty annoying. Even with stamina up, it's kind of unbearable. And I'm also not a huge fan of the stabs. Not really sure why, I just really never was a huge fan. But I do like the concept that everyone gets their own wonder weapon. I really do like that, and I wish they would actually implement that into more maps. The only other map they actually did it in was Horizon Track, and I really wish they would actually implement that in more maps, but like not the way they did it in those two, to where like everyone gets one bow or everyone gets one staff. I would like to see like 4 wonder weapons, like maybe the thunder gun, the wonder waft, the wave gun, and all these other wonder weapons are all in one map, and everybody can only get one wonder weapon. I feel like that would be pretty cool, but just make it so that way they're not wonder weapons that you can just camp in a corner. So don't make it like the lightning bow or the ice staff, everyone gets one of those. No, that would be pretty bad. But I do like the concept of everyone getting their own wonder weapon, so that way, like if the shitty guy gets the wonder weapon, it's okay, because he's going to go down every 10 seconds, but other people also have a wonder weapon. Or if the asshole of the group, aka me, gets the wonder weapon, it's okay, because he's going to try to troll everyone else and get them to go down, but they're probably going to be safe because they have wonder weapons too. So that's one of the things that I really do enjoy about Origins, is that everyone can have their own wonder weapon and everyone can kind of do their own thing. I also like the Easter egg. The Easter egg wasn't too unbearable, it was pretty fun to do. Getting Pack-a-Punch on wasn't really the worst thing in the world. All you really have to do was get like the entire map open, and then once you do that, you basically have Pack-a-Punch open. And turning power on wasn't really that difficult. I mean, I would have preferred a switch, but it's nothing unbearable like getting buckets of water and having to fill up something. So other really than having to build the stabs, Origins was a really good map. There was nothing it really forced you to do that was too unbearable besides the stabs if like you want to go for far rounds or anything. And I love the storyline, the setting, the atmosphere, the weapons of the map. All of that was amazing, and that's why Origins is number 5. So coming in number 4, this is going to shock a lot of people because usually this map comes out like in the top 3, but it's going to be Derice. And the reason Derice has gone back on my list, and it's probably always going to stay in the top 5, but it's definitely moved up the list, or down the list. I don't know how you would say that. Would up the list be going to 5 because like that's going up in numbers, but it's also going like down the list because 1 is like the number 1 spot. I don't know how it works, but it's moving to number 5 slowly but surely because I've just played it so many times. I have at least over 1,000 hours just in Derice alone, because I know I have more than 1,000 hours on World at War and Steam. I would say half that is custom zombies and half of that is definitely Derice. And then if you add in the Giant and all my time on Black Ops 1 and also in World at War on the 360, I definitely have over 1,000 hours of Derice. And after all that time, you know, you kind of get a little bit used to it, and it doesn't really have that same replayability factor as it once had. Now, it still does have a great replayability factor. The map was amazing. The way it looks, the way it feels, the weapons, how to get power on, how to get Pack-a-Punch open, just the nostalgic boners you get from it. It's a great map. It's one of the best maps we've ever had. But to me, it's slowly moving up my list or down the list, however you would say that. Just because I've played it so many damn times. And if that doesn't tell you how good this map is, I don't know what will. So taking the number 3 spot is going to be the most recent map, Gorod-Krovi. So I really love Gorod-Krovi. I think it's definitely the best map we've had in Black Ops 3 so far. They introduced a lot of cool things, mainly the PPSH, which, you know, I was so happy for. The only problem I had with the PPSH is it just looks and feels like a toy to me. I don't know why. Like, does that happen to anyone else? Like, whenever they use the PPSH in Black Ops 3, it doesn't feel like a real gun. It feels like I'm kind of using like a Nerf gun or something like that. Well, not really a Nerf gun. It just doesn't feel like I'm using an actual gun. It just feels like a toy, like whenever I use it. I don't know why. Probably just the way it looks and feels, maybe. But other than that, I still love the PPSH in Gorod-Krovi. I still love the map layout. I love how you get power on. I love how you actually have to get to Pack-a-Punch. I just love Gorod-Krovi in general. There's nothing really too bad about the map besides the Manglers and Valkyries. I don't like how they spawn in like all the time. Those guys are kind of annoying, but you can get a helmet just by killing enough of them, so I guess that kind of evens out in a way. But those Valkyries and Manglers are still kind of annoying. And I thought the dragons would be the worst part of this map, and the dragons actually turned out to be one of my favorite parts. I really do love the dragons. They're actually amazing, especially the Gauntlet of Siegfried, that little dragon you get on your arm. He's definitely my favorite. He's my little buddy. So Gorod-Krovi is definitely amazing. I have no real huge faults with the map. It's just absolutely amazing and definitely one of my favorite maps in Call of Duty Zombies. So taking the number 2 spot is going to be Moon. Now, Moon I find very interesting because you either love it or you hate it. There's really no in-between when it comes to Moon. Like, I've seen people either love the map or hate it. I've never really seen anyone that's been like, it was alright. You either love the map or you hate the map, and I definitely love Moon. I loved everything about it. I love the zero gravity. That really didn't turn me off too much. I thought that was actually pretty fun. I love the wave gun. Wave gun is definitely a great wonder weapon. I just wish you were able to create drops with it. I love how you had to actually teleport to Pack-a-Punch. Reminded me of Kino. It really kind of sucked that you could only do it once around, but still, I liked how you actually just teleport it back to Pack-a-Punch. I absolutely love the concept of No Man's Land. You could just go there and hoard up points for days and be set up pretty early on, and you didn't have to do unnecessary tasks. All you had to do is teleport and go kill some zombies, and then you have points for days. But I really wasn't a huge fan of how Jug and Speed Cola kind of switched. Not really a huge fan of that. I would have been happy if like they were both there at the same time. Not really liking how you have to like, oh, teleport, oh, it's not there, I guess I gotta go next round. Never really liked that concept. So in my mind, it probably would have been a lot better if they were both there at the same time. But, you know, it's not, and it's kind of been a couple years too late. And probably the thing that I loved the most about this map was the Easter egg. I think this Easter egg in Moon was definitely, by far, the greatest Easter egg we've had in Zombies. The amount of information we learned, the steps to it were pretty good, except for that one step where you have to fucking wait on that goddamn excavator. That step I hate so goddamn much, just because you can't control when that excavator comes down. But all the other steps I'm pretty fine with. I love the steps. I love when we actually get to see Samantha. I love when Rick Toffin and Samantha switch bodies, that cliffhanger at the end, where we blow up the earth and we have no idea what's coming next. I think Moon's Easter egg was by far the best Easter egg in Zombies. With the amount of information we learned and all the questions we got from it, Moon is definitely my favorite Easter egg of all time. And that's probably the main reason why it's number 2 on this list. So taking number 1 spot is always going to be Ascension. I love Ascension. It's my favorite map in Zombies history. I will never remove this from number 1 unless I see like an Ascension V2 or something like that. And even then, that map better be pretty fucking good. But Ascension is definitely my favorite map. I love the layout. It reminds me a lot of Derice, like how you have to just connect 3 things and you have Pack-a-Punch open. I really did enjoy that. I love the Thunder Gun, even though it was also introduced in Kino. I always associate the Thunder Gun with Ascension for some reason. The only real problem I have with Ascension is not really Ascension's fault, it's just Black Ops 1 Zombies' fault. In general, I did not like the guns, because Black Ops 1 weapons, I say this all the time, were absolute shit. Black Ops 1 weapons were definitely the worst weapons in like Call of Duty Zombies history, like the MP5, the MPL, the PM63. All those weapons were absolute garbage. And that's really the only problem I have with Ascension. Everything else I absolutely love about it. The perks I'm completely fine with. I wish Double Tap 2.0 would have been on there, but I'm completely okay with not having it. We got Stamina Up instead, and we have PhD Flopper, Jug, and Speed Cola. That's really all you need in that map. So Ascension will forever and always be my favorite map in Call of Duty Zombies history. So I'm very curious to know, what is your guys' top 5 favorite maps in Zombies? So if you guys could, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Peace.